I've got about 7 yards left of the material that I purchased to make a nightgown. About 10 yards, and I thought I was going to use a lot more in my last dress, but I was very, very wrong. So it's actually more like 7.5, almost 8 yards left. And it's also really, really, really wide fabric. So I've been able to draft everything on the warp, weft. I've been able to draft everything on the warp. So not the long way up and down, but I've been able to do it on its side. The material and pattern for this is working just fine for this. The width of this fabric has actually been perfect for the length of the nightgown. So this is working out great. We are now going to open up our Haslam system of dress cutting, book of draftings for lingerie, number 7. We're going to go to page 1 and we are going to make this nightgown. Now, the only thing that I'm going to change on this nightgown is that I'm going to actually add more into the area where you do the pin tucks at the top. I have been noticing that I don't appreciate actually the lack of amount of fabric. They seem to always show more gathering in the picture than what even remotely happens with the draftings that's been given. So I'm just going to double it and find out what happens. And I'm going to do that for 2 reasons. First, I think that that's what I want. And 2, it's a nightgown. If it ends up being a little goofy, that's okay because I'm sleeping in it. And I promise when I close my eyes, this will not be what bothers me at night. This will not be the thing that keeps me up at night. There are other things that will keep me up at night, but it will not be because I added a little too much blousing in the front of my nightgown. I would rather test this out on a nightgown than test it out even on a muslin piece for a dress. Let's just do this. Okay, let's do this. As always, please subscribe. Most of my viewers are in fact not subscribed, and I think that you would like more of my stuff on your For You page because I am an absolute delight. I am not stressful. I do not have a stressful channel. Leave a comment, share the video. I love your comments. See the description box for all links to the pattern as well as any supplies that I may come up with. And of course, links to all of my other social media pages, including my Patreon, which that is where you can have access to my Discord channel. First things first, draft everything, leaving out the seam allowance because that's entirely too personal of a decision to put down on paper. Cut everything out and make notes if you have done something unusual with your seam allowance or a change to the pattern. I never assume I will remember things like this later. For this pattern specifically, this is the order that I sewed everything. I finished the rough edges on the bodice front crisscross. I then sewed the waist ties to the skirt and not the bodice. Then I sewed the bodice sides together and completed a French seam. I got out the iron and liberally used that tool to help finish the edges of the armpits. Then finish the edges of the neck back and then gather the front shoulder bodice. Sew the sides of the shoulder straps and leave the bottom and top open but iron in the rough edges. Tuck in the front, iron, top stitch. Tuck in the back, iron, top stitch. French sew the skirt sides and attach the back to the bodice. Do not full French until the end, and then put in the gathers to the bodice where the waist is and attach the skirt. Finish the French seam all the way down to the waist and do your hem and you're done. Do I like the results? Let's discuss. All right. First of all, I had a mistake and I'm not sure why or where. I could go back to the pattern and look at it, but the truth is that I'm not making this again, and I just know that I need to be more aware of how far I go with my armpit. I am not sure what happened here actually, but the fix I decided could be very easy because again, nightgown, not red carpet runway out and about. No one's here to judge the nightgown. I am not here to judge your nightgown. All right, so I just sort of did this, did a tiny little seam, and I'm fine with this. I did that on both sides. It fits now. That's all that matters. This, when you do a crisscross, before all of this, and this is what I was talking about when I said tuck it in and sew it, all of this material is tucked into this. What I really wanted to do is not sew that down until I tried it on, and I would have tucked this more at an angle to end up more like that. And I have not fixed this yet because I wanted to do this on camera to show that what I really wanted to do was that, and then all of this. So in other words, this ended up, this needs to be shorter than this side, and this is entirely too much material. I'm aware. I look like I have huge tracts of land here, so we're just gonna go with that. This is what I was talking about with the waist. The waistband or the waist ties go into the skirt because this, wait a minute, because this, well, you can see what I did. This looks lovely. Okay, I absolutely love this project. This has been fantastic. My nightgowns are looking so fancy, and I love that I have my pearls on and lipstick. I look so glamorous right now. Okay, the next thing that I need to do, I need a bed jacket, a matching bed jacket, and possibly like a hair wrap or something. I want it all matching. In conclusion, freedom of expression is a fundamental human right that allows individuals to express themselves in any way they see fit, including through art and clothing. Whether it's through painting, music, or fashion, art has the power to inspire, challenge, and change the world. Clothing is also a form of self-expression, allowing individuals to showcase their personality, culture, and identity. Let us celebrate our freedom, embrace our creativity, and encourage each other to express ourselves authentically, boldly, and unapologetically. Remember, true freedom is the ability to be yourself, express yourself, and live life on your own terms. Make sure that you afford everyone around you the same grace that you want from them.